It's April and it's time for a gardening update. I got a straw bale to plant the sweet potatoes in, and I'll use the other straw bale to mulch a couple of things. I also filled the green stalk planter with soil as well as some of the grow bags. When planting potatoes, I like to add a little sulfur to reduce the pH because potatoes like a slightly acidic pH. Here I'm planting some Kennebec potatoes. In one grow bag I planted 3, and in the other grow bag I planted 4, just to see which one does better. I place the cut side of the potato down, and then I cover the pieces with soil and slightly pat them down and then water. For carrots, I just sprinkle the seeds on top of the soil, and once I have them spread out like I want them, I add soil, then spread it out by hand. Then I pat it down slightly so the seeds aren't disturbed easily when I water. For sugar and snap peas, I place the peas on top of the soil, then I push each pea down about 1 inch to 1.5 inches deep. Then I smooth the soil out a little bit and water. This year I'm planting about twice as many peas per bag as I usually do. The garlic is taking off pretty well. I planted it in October and will harvest in June. I've already watered a few times. Here's some of my tomato cross seedlings. The one I'm holding now and the tray that it's in had a real problem with damping off, so they're stunted quite a bit. These are the survivors. Then I planted a new tray and I'm just hardening those off right from the start. The 6 varieties of micro tomatoes that I planted a while back are all doing great, and one of them even has a tomato on it. And the rest all have blooms, so they won't be far behind. Here's a candy sticks pepper plant with a couple of peppers on it. I'll probably harvest those before I transplant it outside. Here's another tray of micro tomatoes. I'm hardening these off also, and I use the shadow of our home to make sure that they don't stay in the sun very long. And here's a mixed tray I'm hardening off. I probably won't transplant too many things outdoors for another week or so and take a good look at the weather. I disassembled our drip irrigation system so I could replace the 1/2-inch tubing. Here's a look at all the fittings and emitters. I pre-cut all the pieces that I'll need for the drip irrigation system, and I'll have to reassemble it once I get the garden uncovered. I'm planting a few russet potatoes this year, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. We've already got to enjoy a couple of spears of asparagus this year, and the first ones are huge. You can see where we snapped off a couple already. I planted some asparagus seeds in a container and in a grow bag the year before last, and they're still growing strong. I'm going to let this Chicago cold hardy fig get started well in this container, and then I'll transplant it into a 10-gallon grow bag, and at some point I might have to go to a bigger grow bag. We have about 6 peony plants growing around our home, and some of them are really starting to take off. This one already has flower buds. We also have some strawberries that are starting to bloom. Be sure and let us know what's going on in your garden, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.